I'm Chris. I was in Liberty Houses. I got 3 years, a month, and 15 days as of the time this video was made.
Hi, my name is Emily. 2 years in recovery.
I'm Jeff. The clean time is 3.5 years. The clean date is July 17th, 2018.
My name is Holly, and I will have 5 years this April 8th.
Started out, it's kind of the same story as a lot of people's. Started out with back pain. Went to my doctor. They prescribed me painkillers, and it very quickly moved to heroin.
Help for me to decipher when exactly my journey with addiction began, but I can pinpoint a lot of signs that started in early high school. I know that I always liked drugs. There was a lot of heavy drinking, usually every day. I recreationally took whatever I came across, any psychedelics, any prescription pills. And around my sophomore years, when I started to get into things like crack cocaine, whenever that was presented to me. Junior year of high school was the first time I did heroin, and that day I knew that my whole life would be different.
So I was in addiction young, started smoking weed with my brother, my stepbrother, and it just spiraled out of control from there. I did cocaine when I was 19. Didn't get introduced to heroin. I started taking pills. Hurt my shoulder falling down an elevator shaft, and then I got addicted to pills. And they prescribed me, them heavy Oxycontins and stuff like that. After that happened, then I found heroin, and that was my mistress ever since.
So my addiction started when I got into a car accident. I hurt my back, and I was put on multiple different pain medications and Xanax and Valium, and I got pretty addicted pretty quick.
Early on, my family knew I was getting high, and they stopped talking to me, like completely cut me off. And I didn't have any contact with them for roughly 10 years. The relationship with my kids, terrible. I was in and out of their life all the time, very consistent. And I wasn't a father at all.
Before my senior year began, my parents kicked me out of my house. Within the first month I dropped out of high school. I didn't get my license, I couldn't hold a job, and that continued for about 6 years. I went to 10 treatment centers. I went to 7 sober living homes. I stayed in a homeless shelter. I've slept in cars. And it was something that I thought that would just be what my life was. Sorry.
I watched my best friend burn up under a bed, my sister drown in a pool, my brother shot himself. So there's a lot of traumas that comes with it that you don't realize that you have them until it's too late. And it sucks to have traumas, you know what I mean? And that's where, getting in recovery helps you, because when you get in recovery and you have traumas, you can work through them.
I just remember one day being in my apartment, and my dad came, and he called my daughter's dad, because I had a young daughter at the time. I believe she was in first grade. And he called her dad, and he called CPS on me. And I signed off temporary custody of my daughter.
I decided to get clean because my son's mom had passed away from an overdose. And I was still out using. And when I found this out, I found out that she had passed, and it kind of drove me into like a really bad spiral. And then I couldn't leave my son with no mother or father. So I decided to go to rehab, get clean. And before I even walked in the doors, I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this the right way.
And the last time I went into treatment, I had always gone to kind of appease my family or to change the situation I was in. Like if I wanted help moving to a different area, or, getting on my feet for some period of time to kind of reset things. I knew that people in my life would help me if I went to treatment. So that was always the reason. But the last time I went, my mom asked me to go, and I told her that it was something that she should give up on, that I had been given ample chances, and that you should detach from someone when they've done that so many times. And she asked me to go just so that she could get rest for 2 weeks and not worry about it. So I agreed to go in there, and I don't really know what it was that last time, other than just thinking to myself, I wonder what would happen if I just gave it all the strength that I could give it, if I used every resource that was recommended to me, if I tested how strong my threshold for the suffering of getting clean was, and I decided to roll with it and see what would happen.
I found recovery. My family pushed me to do it. And they're here tonight, and but they pushed me to do it. I didn't want to do it. The law didn't make me do it. I did it on my own. My family pushed me.
What was different this time going to treatment would probably be that I knew that I would lose my kids forever, and I live for my children. My children are everything to me. And if I didn't do this, that I would lose them forever, and I couldn't live with myself losing my children. I couldn't.
During my stay in rehab, I had my family look for a recovery home so that I wouldn't have to go back out on the street, because I was homeless for quite a long time. And they found Live Right. So I moved in there, and very quickly the structure, the meetings, everything that they have to offer kind of put things into perspective quite a bit.
At about a year clean, I started working at Live Right Structured Recovery Corp. And it's been a great way to keep me engaged in my recovery. It keeps you present in it every day. It keeps you mindful of it. It keeps you thinking about it, and it allows you to give back with the same resources that you were given to seek help. It's really given me the opportunity to live my truth and just be present with recovery every day of my life.
I go to all Live Right events. We go to everything together. I've been in all the parades. I've done the food banks. I've done everything that Live Right does. I did them not working here and not being in their houses. I did them just as I was clean, just to give back. And that was pretty nice. My girl works here now, and I love working here. We do a lot with a lot of different people here, and it's pretty amazing to work here.
I have a great relationship with my mom, my dad, brothers and sisters, my kids. Two of my kids that I neglected during that time asked me, why weren't you there? And my response was, I can't change what I did. I wasn't there. I can't change that.
My relationship with my family right now is something that I never thought that it would be. Being invited to family events, being able to be present for things, being trusted enough to have keys to your family members' houses. Even recently, my parents asked me to watch their dogs while they were on vacation. And it's crazy, but for people like us, that's like a huge step. Recovery has given me everything I have today with everyone in my life.
When I first came into the program, I had 22 warrants, no job, no car, no license, no nothing. And I got it all back now. And I got a great family. I got a son that's awesome. I got a girl that loves me. My boss is, she's her, but she's awesome. She'll do anything for us. And I appreciate her for that and respect her for that.
Since I have gotten sober and clean, I got married to the love of my life, somebody that I was with when my daughter was little, and then shortly after I had my middle son, and then I got pregnant and I had my son. He's 14 months now, and I just thank God every day for Live Right, because I honestly don't think I would be here without them.
I'm tremendously grateful for everyone who's been supportive to me along this journey, from my family and friends to my coworkers to people from every treatment center I've been to. I'm extremely grateful for Live Right and the opportunity to work in this field, and to everyone who helps support Live Right and the things that we do.
I'd like to thank my family for being there to support me when I felt like I had nobody else. I didn't have anybody else. So my mom, my dad, my kids for giving me another chance, even though they didn't have to. Live Right for giving me like the structure and the plan of the program.
I would like to thank my parents, first of all, for supporting me in my recovery journey and just everything that I do. They're always there for me. I'd like to thank my husband, who has been there for me for the past 15 or so years, from when I was at my worst to now. My children for also supporting me. They both know, my two oldest know that I am in recovery, and they support me in that. And I would like to thank Brenda and Matt and everybody at Live Right, because I truly do not think that I would be where I'm at today without them.
Anybody who's ever supported Live Right, you saved this addict's life. So if you got $1, give it. And it's not for a bad cause. There's people here that are in recovery that are doing amazing things, that we're back in society. There's lawyers, there's doctors, there's everybody that are in recovery. It's not, once an addict, always an addict, once a junkie, always a junkie. It doesn't have to be that way.
I wouldn't be where I'm at right now without Live Right. I wouldn't. I'd probably be somewhere where it's not good. If I was here at all.